You're listening to the Practical Wealth Show with Curtis May.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Practical Wealth Show. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is business. Okay, business development and investing in yourself. So I have the great Miss Alma Bradford. Okay, and let me tell you, I met Alma. I've been following Alma for a long time because we met, or kind of met, and she's been gracious enough to answer my questions on Clubhouse. And I was like, I gotta have you on the show. We did a topic last week that she did that I thought was fascinating. But Alma is she loves helping people, because I call her too, right? Create businesses that give them more income, more impact, and more freedom. Okay, and you know we're all about what we do is we teach principles that help people become and remain financially free. Okay. And so our conversation is completely in line in that because you are your number one asset, and Alma will pull gifts out of you that you don't think that have any value to the marketplace that you can make money on. Right. So Alma, tell them what I didn't tell them, and give a little bit of your background because I think that's interesting. They need to know from whence you came.
Yes. So my name is Alma Bradford, and I have an online training and consulting company. I help people package up their knowledge and expertise into a premium service, or take that same knowledge and expertise and sell it as a digital product for passive income. So we'll talk about that today.
Mm-hmm.
But how I got here was that I worked in corporate for many, many years as a project manager, then an agile coach and consultant in the technology industry, where I was helping executives and CEOs create teams and train their teams on different project management methodologies, specifically agile, and just coaching executive levels and engineers on how to implement these practices. And what I was doing and what I studied when I was doing that was how to create a team of people, because at that time we were building software like apps and things like that. But how do you get your team to become self-organized and create a really good product that's of high quality, right? And so that's what I was doing, and coaching and consulting. And I actually do that now. That's my expertise.
Right.
So I packaged that skill set up into where I am now. And then what I did was I started an agency. So it's funny because I was doing project management, but I've always been very creative. I've always, throughout my life, I've always written nonfiction and fiction. And so I was like, okay, I was all over the place. Like I was like thinking about, okay, I'm in this 9-to-5 job, have my, my family. And I'm like, I don't want to have to be stuck here. And so how do I take what I love and find a profitable business that I could do full time? So I struggled for many years trying to figure out, okay, I have this project management background, but I also like to write.
Mm-hmm.
So and I started so many different types of businesses. Some of them did not take off. Okay. I had a lot of different ideas. But what I was able to do over the years is really marry the two skills. And I found a way to position them so that it was very, very profitable. My entrepreneur journey came about during the last recession, before the one we are now, the one in the 2008 crisis, right? I was out of work. And, I was in the IT industry, and I was like, I don't want to go back to that stuff. So I was just figuring out a way I could stay home with my son and just not have to, be in a physical office. But what I did was I started doing freelance writing, and then that turned into marketing and social media. So I grew a social media management business, and that turned into a digital marketing social media agency. And so I've been doing that for 10 years. So I was able to do it. I mean, I was able to replace my income doing that. So I did that, but I found some issues with that business model. Okay. Because we're doing one-on-one services. We're doing the marketing work for our clients. But when you're in a service-based client-facing business, you get these big contracts, but then if one contract doesn't work out, you lose all this revenue. And then I had team members, I was trying to pay them. It wasn't consistent. And so I was like, I got to find a way to have like recurring revenue, like money that's coming always coming in all the time.
Because that business, I know a couple people with that business model, that's very risky, right? Because if you lose that contract, you're SOL. I mean, your revenue's gone, and you need your clients, you need other Even if you could do both, that's nice. But the way you're talking about is gives you more security and allows you to sleep better at night.
Yes, because you know you have money coming in. So I started to do some research on, how can I just have this recurring revenue? And even if I just can just make $5,000 a month that I know is always going to be hitting my bank account all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That will allow me to feel confident paying my team members, making sure I have money, right? So I started researching this because I had a really bad experience with one of our clients we had to fire. So
Mm.
I was like, I got to figure something out. So what I did was I started learning about the world of digital products. So membership sites, online courses, digital courses. And so I went and I offered a membership site. And my first membership site was all about teaching people how to do social media, digital marketing online. It took off. I launched that program. It was
So hold on, let me pull out a point there. So how long were you say you were studying like that stuff, like before you launched?
Yeah, so I started listening to a lot of podcasts, honestly.
Hmm.
And I was just listening to people that were like, hey, I'm making like, $500,000, $1 million with this funnel. And I was like, what? You're just selling courses? That's it? So I started to like learn these, like just read up on all these influencers that were just taking their knowledge and putting it
Right.
into a course or a membership site. And I was hearing about people who have membership sites that make like $1 million. I was like, what are they doing? Because I'm spending all this time.
Right. How do I do that? See, that's the magic question, right? And so you get me excited. So let's just cut you off. But here's the point I want to make. See, because one of the things that we always say at Practical Wealth in our community, investing is not about buying something, it's about becoming something, right? And so you have to invest in your expertise, which is what you did. And that has allowed you to really develop a strong business, but you have to, because it's all in passive income. Well, you got to have active income first, right? You got to set this stuff up, and you got to learn how to do stuff, and you have to fail. She said, I started multiple businesses. They didn't work, but you did it not work. You just learned to adjust them. But you learn stuff. So I try to get them to get these lessons out, these little
Oh yeah,
seminars you had when we're doing.
I'll definitely address
Yeah,
that because I
yeah.
think it's a big misconception. So when I started to learn about it, I did invest in courses and training, working with mentors to help me. I've actually invested a lot of money in that.
Hmm.
But what I did was I started a Facebook group for entrepreneurs, primarily women in business. And that grew. Now that group is like 15,000 people in it. It's a free Facebook group.
Hmm.
And from there, I was able to build an audience. So the way that I launched my membership site, I mean, we launched this membership site and then have since added on courses and coaching. So now I have multiple six-figure online training company. And this year we should be hitting our first million in the business from just online training and courses, really. The way that I started, and this is very important for your audience to understand, is that passive income does just not come, overnight. Like you have to put in a lot of work up front to create a funnel and build an audience of leads that's automatically generating leads. So when I first launched my membership site, it was about $30, 35, around $30 a month. We raised the price. What I did was I launched a community. So I grew my audience first. And it's all what I teach people to do when you're trying to streamline with passive income or courses, digital products. You have to have an audience of people because if you don't have an audience, you're not going to have passive income. Because what you're doing is, in order for you to have a digital product like an online course or a membership site where you're teaching people and helping people, you need people to constantly come into that funnel.
Right.
So when I launched that course, I had a Facebook group. It was very engaged, and I was doing weekly webinars, weekly live streams, and from there, we did a launch. I launched it. But I first built my audience, and I launched my membership site. We got like 60 members. I was like, oh my gosh, $1,000 a month in passive income. Woo-hoo. I'm so happy. Anyway, that grew to like
But
7,000.
think about that. That's like 3 turnkey rentals that you might have put $60,000 down to do that. See, so that's relative, right? You have to understand that for every 10 members might be a rental property. You know what I mean? Like you got to start to do that. Compared to what? That's a big deal. $12,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, my overhead is this type of business model, you don't have a lot of overhead and you don't have to spend a lot of money to get it started. So that's
Yes.
a big difference. So I was able to go to 7,000. Then I launched a course on top of that. And then that course plus the membership got me to like $15,000 a month. And now we typically do anywhere from 25 to $50,000 a month or from courses and our digital products and programs.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's really exciting. I love it. I love what I do. I get to teach and help people, and I really just packaged up what I was doing all these years into a digital product. So in the beginning, when I was launching my membership and my course, I was doing a lot of live webinars, and I was
Hmm.
doing a weekly live webinar to sell it. But what I found is that doing going on social media and doing like all the, now everyone's on Instagram with reels and they're just doing, IGTV, they're just going live all the time. It's just, there's TikTok now, everything's just so much that can only take you but so far because after a while, you as the creator, you're going to get exhausted.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
so if you build your business where it relies on you having to go live all the time, it's just not sustainable because something will happen to you where you can't do that
Right.
and then your money goes away. So
Right.
I was like, okay, I got to build some type of automation. I don't want to have to go live every single week in my Facebook group just to get sales. Okay.
Right. Right.
So I said, okay, well, let me set up. So I took some time, it took 2 weeks, and I built out an automated webinar funnel where I get people into this funnel to watch my webinar,
Hmm.
and that has allowed me to scale and to have passive income. So now we have this funnel that's running, and people just sign up every week for the most part, and I don't have to do anything, and they're in my programs.
So tell them why. So this is the conversation that we were on, that we were talking. We called a couple times, but like that right there, with those of you who have a business, you've got stuff that you could do virtually, whether if you have a brick and mortar. But you said specifically why there was stuff you had to do, if you want to share, that you wanted to have, that you have money coming in, so you didn't have to do these lives, this group coaching. You wanted a six-figure thing that I know I got coming in. So if I don't feel like
Yeah,
talking, I don't even got to do nothing, right? Talk about that, your reason
yeah.
behind that, and then how
So
they would think through doing that.
yeah, so this is the thing about business models, right? There's a lot of business models that make you lots of money, but they're not sustainable. So there's a lot of business models that you can have that can make you lots of money, but they're not sustainable and they don't take into consideration that what if something happens to you or so let's talk about what can happen to you. So if you have a business that relies on you to make the sale,
Yeah.
to constantly be available, what that means is that if something happens, if you get sick, if a family member gets sick, if you just want to take a break, right, you start to lose money. And so I realized that very, very quickly that this was not sustainable because I have, family I have to take care of. I have aging parents, one of my parents has a disability. So I can't have a business where I have to always be there. I have to be able to get up and go. Like I have to go take care of something or take them to a doctor or handle whatever I have to handle.
Yeah.
It's just not sustainable for me to have to do it. So that is the reason why I spent a lot of energy and focus on creating an automated sales funnel that makes money for me every single week, money while I sleep. It is not because, oh, I just want to be rich. Like that, I could be rich doing a lot of different types of things.
Right.
I don't have to do it that way. But I was like, I need some, it's not really just for money. It's really because I need to be able to take care of myself because I do my business full time. This is a full time business. It's not a hobby. It's not part time. This is how I pay my bills.
Right.
That's it. And so I need money coming in all the time.
Right.
And so that's why I was like, this is unsustainable to have to be on social media every single day. So I was like, let me, so I set the funnel up. And so, like I said, that's the reason why it's really for peace of mind, knowing that, I have this money coming in $10,000, $20,000 a month on repeat on autopilot. It's always coming in. It becomes like your baseline of revenue.
Yes.
And then you can make predictions, you can make plans, you can decide who you're going to hire. You have a budget now. But when you have a business that's like up and down revenue, it's not predictable, you really can't make long-term planning decisions. And so now you're trying to do all the things. It's just not sustainable. And I feel like if we're trying to build wealth, you want to have, in order for you to sell a company, you have to sell it they typically, when people buy a company, they want to buy something that doesn't rely on you.
Right. Right.
And so if you have a digital product, information product, if you're doing online training, you have an online training school, that's something that you can remove yourself from because you can automate everything when it's online versus when it's in person, right? The second part about this that I haven't talked about is this is your profit margins are going to be really high because you don't have to rent a physical office space. You don't have to be somewhere, and you don't even have to hire a bunch of employees really to
Mm-hmm.
run this type of business. I right now it's just me and my son, we're the only employees.
Right.
But I have contractors, I have virtual assistants, I have other contractors, freelancers that help us. And I don't have to have like a team of like 10, 20 employees to make the business run. So when, I decided to invest more in automation over really over hiring employees.
Right.
And
Right.
so I do paid advertising. We also have organic channels where people are coming into, or we get traffic from organic Pinterest, some SEO, Clubhouse, another place that we had to lead
Right.
generation. But it's completely automated. And to fully automate a digital product, you have to do paid advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So like the only to reach true passive income where you're not having to go live all the time and post all the time. You have to do when you invest in paid advertising, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, that platform, the algorithms will and the way they have is based on artificial intelligence, AI.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is like a bot that is finding people who are your ideal clients and students and then selling on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
You can completely automate it when you put in some paid advertising and then just let that funnel run.
So I want to break this down. So I always look at this book Simon Sinek's book is Start with Why. So every time I look at it, it's why, which you talked about, the freedom, you got stuff, you got bills, everything, you got family. There's how, and then there's what, right? And what is it? Tactical, more tactical stuff. So I want to talk about we got the why. So the how. So I want to look at it from a couple different standpoints. So let's say I already have a business. Like we talked about me, right? I have a service business, and I do all right, but I still have to do it all the time, right? So there's people out there like me. There's one of the things that we talk about, which is what I like to show, is that I want people to recognize, I think we want to start with this example, that they have things they know how to do, and they need to figure out how to create what I call it, I borrowed this from Laura Langmeyer, a cash machine, right? Some entrepreneurial venture that you can start up under $500, under $1,000, where you can begin to develop income and buy your life back. Can we have that conversation? Got to be working. We can't share a parked car, right? So you got to, it does cost some money, but how would I think about, because I know there's membership sites for everything, basket weaving, there's stuff or courses. Tell me a little about how they should begin to think about that, and then maybe a couple tools that you use, and even some stuff that you share. You can start to interweave some stuff that you teach on.
Yes. So all right, I'm going to talk about that. So think about this type of business model as a service provider, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So here's something I do want to get into that I didn't talk about earlier is that the digital product, like, so let's say you have a membership site or online course, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can still offer a one-on-one service, like a consulting service or a coaching. You can still take on clients, but the beauty of this system, and this is how it has worked for me. And when I got into this, I did not know this was going to happen. Like I had to figure this out over time. And when I started to track the data,
Yeah.
I looked at the data that I've been collecting. What happens is people come in through the funnel, they purchase my membership or they join the course, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then they work with me one-on-one. They say, I love this program, but I really want to get more support. How can we work together? And so I upsell them into a premium offer to do one-on-one coaching. So I charge high ticket for one-on-one coaching. It's a premium investment. It's not like $500 of a session. This is like
right.
4 to 5 figures and higher, okay? Depending on what offer they take. But it's a premium offer. So I get to work with very premium high-end clients, and I get to be picky and choosy about who I work with.
Right.
So I don't have to work with everybody. I could just,
Right.
I'm going to take 2 clients this month and then I'm just going to focus on the course. So what this type of business model allows you to do is you can create an ascension ladder of offers. So the first level could be your digital product. It could be a membership. It could be a $47 digital product if you want, if you know how to do paid advertising the right way, you can do it that way.
Hmm.
But it could be a $997 course. It could be a $2,000 course. And then that solves one solution, but it doesn't give them the whole solution. The whole
Hmm.
solution is they really just need to work with you one-on-one.
Yeah.
And so you bring them through a buyer's journey, which is called this is another name for a sales funnel, right?
Hmm.
A sales funnel or a buyer's journey. So the first step is they see your ad or they see your promotion for some opt-in. Then you go and hit them with, hey, I have this program, a course you can purchase. And then you're like, hey, if you really need more support, you can work with me one-on-one. So if you're a one-on-one service provider, what this does, it gives you recurring, consistent, reliable income, right?
Hmm. Yep.
10K a month from digital products. And then now you can take on two retainer clients at, let's just say you charge 2,500 a month, right? If you take on 4 of them, you could hit 10K just from one-on-one clients. From
Right.
4 one-on-one clients, you can hit 10K. So now you have this huge profit margin on the back end
Right.
because now you're only working with premium people. And you can have a retainer for $50,000. I mean, a 6-figure retainer for a contract, right? It doesn't
Hmm.
have to. Just give you an example.
Hmm.
So the profit margin can come from the back end premium high ticket offer. Sometimes the back end product could be a 6-month group coaching offer where you go deeper with people, right? And so that could be $20,000. Let's say you have a $20,000 mastermind, you get 10 people, that's a $200,000 revenue stream.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the way this works is when people are coming into that front end funnel, they buy your offer. It's so easy to sell and upsell them to the next level because they already bought from you.
Right.
So the
And
psychology,
they're experiencing some success. Like they're okay. So okay, now what else you got? Because this is winning. I'm making more money. What's the next thing, right? And
yes,
that's how you ascend them. So when she says ascension, I want to make sure they break this down because we'll throw out things like ascension, value ladder. So think of a dentist. I got this from Russell Brunson, right? So here's actually a perfect story. So my daughter like was class speaker at her high school. This is 2 years ago, right? So my wife said, "Look, I'm going to take you." She found a free ad of a local dentist office for like a teeth whitening session, free teeth whitening. So from that, you got to get checkup. Oh, you got cavities. We need this level, right? And then so ultimately their goal is like these $7,000 Invisaligns, right? But you can't start out with that. You got to get them up, and then they have the membership would be, all right, you need a checkup every 6 months. That's called continuity, right? And so what you should think about, if you're already hearing this, you're already in services, what are your levels? A chiropractor give out free adjustment, right? And then move up. So that's what she means by ascension. What's your free offer, report? What's your next level offer? What's offered after that? And you have to really, and this is where her coaching will come in, but you have to think about your business. You've got to if it's just you don't really have a business. You don't have I was listening to this book by Dan Derrick. If you don't have a value ladder, you don't have a business. And you got to work all the time. If it's just you're self-employed, right? And you don't have a business. And you don't want to work all the time. Alma can go away and stay away and still have checks coming in. That's freedom, right? And that's what you want. You work for freedom. Your business is there to help you live the life that you want on your terms. And her process is one of the fastest ways to learn how to do that. So sorry, Alma, that's my little
yes.
commentary, but you get me hyped.
No, this is great. I think you said it really, really good. I would say that, I had a family. There was a death in the family last year. I had to take 90 days away. I had to take 3 months off. So I
Mhm.
wasn't working for 90 days. And we still made $25,000 a month for the most part.
Right. So how many of y'all can say? I can't even say that. If I take
Mhm.
my wife had an illness last year, and it terrified me. It's like, all right, this is what made me start to really think about this stuff, Alma, because she couldn't work. The pandemic had started. I wasn't sure. if my business was going to be open. So for about 2 days, I was panicked, okay, about what was going on. And I realized that, okay, I've got to develop other revenue sources. So hopefully, with the pandemic, always creates opportunity if you're looking to, people are more amenable to Zoom and to online meetings. And the online learning is skyrocketed. So y'all all know stuff that you think everybody knows that. I mean, I was talking to Chef Lisa, who I think I met in your room. She's like, I thought everybody, black women from the South, could cook. And she said, no. So she's making 50 grand a month teaching black women how to do their online chef business, because that was a skill she had. Okay. You all have things like that. They need to be refined. You get somebody to help you understand this marketing thing. But that's what I want you to think. Use what you got to go out there and make you some money. You don't need to go back and go get an MBA, because that ain't going to show you how to do anything but get a job for somebody else. That's not designed for entrepreneurs. So that's my whole other show. But the service business, understanding your value ladder and adding what that does, profitability to add to your business. I think that's one. And I think that looking at your business and separating out your business and figuring out where there are profit centers that you can create from something you already have going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way it works is that, when you use this system that I'm talking about, and I saw that happening. So like people come into my course and they're like, okay, this is great. Cause my course is a self-study course. So there's no coaching. And I think a lot of people, this concept of selling courses has gotten very popular in the online business space and online marketing space. The problem is that I think a lot of people will treat their course and charge really low prices and then and then also add coaching and some one-on-ones, and now they're just doing all the things for $6.97, right? That is not the way to go. And so I made the same mistake. I had this course that was low price, and I was okay. We're gonna get you're gonna get 4 sessions with me, one-on-one. And I was barely making, when I was doing all this work. I was like, this is not gonna work, right? I said, okay, either you're gonna go premium and be high level with me, or you're going to get results, but you're gonna have to do it on your own. So my philosophy is, if you're gonna have a course that's less than $2,000, it should primarily be a self-study course. People log in, they go through the material themselves, and that's it. If you're going to be doing weekly coaching sessions with people, that should be a $5,000 or higher program. You should just go all in with people, or not. Like, just give them everything. But if you're going to do that, you have to also charge your time, right? You're worth more money. You're spending all that time. So for me, I have a course, is self-study, and everyone clearly knows this is a self-study. They're not going to get one-on-one. We do have a one-on-one bonus if they pay in full, though. And what I do is, when they do that, they pay in full, upsell them into my premium group coaching or my premium one-on-one. So it just works really well for me, because I'm getting people in the target market I want to get, and then I'm bringing them up to work with me, and I'm increasing client lifetime value.
Right.
So the purpose of this model is so that you're building your audience with the funnel. So now you're when you have this thing automated, if you automate the right way, you can get people to automatically follow you on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want. You can automatically grow your email list. And so people are coming to you. And then when you automate your content, you're automating your marketing message. You don't have to be constantly posting and thinking about new emails to send this week. A lot of us can't. We just get overwhelmed with all this content creation. Like, what am I going to say? You're just tired, right? So you should take time. And I did this myself. I took time to write out all the emails in a sequence and completely automate it. And we're always optimizing the funnel. So we update it, we add new emails, things like that. But when you come into my funnel, typically you'll get a series of emails from me.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. And so you have to think about your business. So one of the things that I always tell people, if you've got to see, your business is your number one asset, but your business is your number one investment, right? And so you invest in marketing, sales, systems, and people, right? even if the people are VAs and virtual, but you need help, you need a team, but that will make you more money than any mutual fund, right? And so but you have to think about it. Like, you got to be able to see your bit. I'm holding my hand out for y'all, if y'all hear it on audio, but you got to see it something outside of you, right? That you can step out of and it still works. Like, if Alma's not in the business, like you said, she was gone for 90 days, it still made $25,000 a month. Somebody will buy that if she wanted to sell it at least 1.5 times earnings, right? And so, because they still can't replace you, but it still has value in and of itself. And that's a beautiful thing. And so, if you're in business and you're hearing this, are you in business or are you self-employed? And then, are there ways, because everybody can have, so I'm a member of the No BS Marketing, Dan Kennedy. I'm a Dan Kennedy guy. So his thing is all about subscription, all about memberships, all about that kind of stuff. And I had been listening to him for like 8 years. I just started to really understand it like 4 years ago. Okay. And, so if y'all hearing some stuff that you don't completely get, just understand it's important. It works. She's proof of that. And you need to start to perk up and this is how you, pandemic proof your businesses. How you, let's say you're in a business where they could outlaw commissions, how do you make sure that that you make money regardless? And so that you're paid for your intellectual property and not for because if you just make money on the back end as products, those are commodities, right? Mm-hmm. And people shop commodities based on price, and so you want to always work to, which is so interesting about what you're talking about, is I always work to decommoditize myself. How can I be the best? How can I charge? Although I still have that thing, can I charge $5,000? So as soon as you said that, I was like, can I do that? I don't know if I'm worth that, right? So talk about that imposter syndrome. I guess I've heard it called, or like, I don't know if I can do that, which when you said that, I can hear the gasps. And how did you probably experienced that? How did you get over that? And, you knew your worth, but you didn't know that people, I remember talking to Lori Ganito. She says, I didn't think anybody would pay for that, but she said, she used to tell me, get out of other people's wallets. So.
Yeah, I have a whole philosophy about that, but, number one, I see a lot of white people charging high prices. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why can't I charge that?
There you go.
The whole purpose of me leaving corporate, because I felt like there was a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
And I'm putting limitations on myself as a woman of color.
Yeah.
Right. The other mindset issue I had to overcome was thinking that my own community couldn't afford it. I feel so many people, especially in our community, they think, well, our community, they don't have the money. And that thought is going to pop up in your head. I'm telling you, it will. And I have so the majority of the people that invest in me at the highest level, 5-figure investment and higher, paid in full, are Black women. Mm. So the first step is knowing our worth as people of color. Mm-hmm. And to stop thinking that our community cannot pay high prices. That's number one. And secondly, to think that because we are people of color, that we can't even charge those expensive prices outside of the community either. That's another mindset block I think a lot of us feel sometimes. And then the second part is thinking I think what's universal to everyone mm-hmm. is that there's some people that just don't believe that people have the money. But, honestly, when you're giving value and you're talking to the right person and you're putting out the right content, yeah. If you know how to take your message and say it the right way, you can attract people who have such an urgent problem that they are totally fine with investing a lot of money to solve that problem.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. People will pay a lot of money to solve very urgent problems that keep them up at night.
Yeah.
So when I learned about that concept and I thought about the times where I've invested a lot of, I remember I invested in like this health coach to help me with a juice detox, like a 7-day detox cleanse. I think it was like a green smoothie or something like that. And I spent like four figures for them because I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel energy because that was so important to me to be able to get up and go to work and just be able to do other things as a mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
People will invest if they have, health issues or they need to make more money or their business isn't, going in the direction they want. They need a better sales plan or they want to start a podcast because they feel like they want to reach more people. Something that they really, really want to do and something that's very, very urgent. And then your marketing message has to educate them on that. So there's different types of, I have a lot of resources. Anyone in your audience needs help or needs resource on this entire like process and system, you
Mm-hmm.
can go to my website, almabradford.com/free. And there's a whole bunch of, I have some free templates and guides to help you with this. But your content has to address those pain points. It also has to educate people. Some people, they know they have a problem, but they don't know what the solution is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know that they have a problem, or maybe their problem is very subconscious, is very deep in there. But when you have the right content, you can help them remember,
Right.
and you can let them know that you're the solution. And so when someone has an urgent problem and they see you and they know, like, and trust you, and they see you as a solution, they won't have a problem paying you $10,000, $20,000.
Somebody told me the price is only a consideration in the absence of value. And so I always tell people, look, don't do business with me because I'm black. Do business with me because I'm good, right? And I have stuff that I can create value for you. So I never worry about that. So because if you don't want to work with me for that reason, that's your problem. That's not my problem. And because I know I'm good, I know that, and I have enough clients that love me because I create value for them. Like I always tell people it's this book called Story Brand. Like, I'm the guide. I'm not the hero. You're the hero, right? Curtis I always tell people, look, I'm Obi-Wan. I'm just letting you know the Force exists, but you still have to go through the training to become a Jedi. I'm just going to teach you the ways of the Force, but you have to become the master, right? And so that's kind of how I approach money, and that's how you approach, businesses. You got the forces there. You know stuff. Let's package this stuff into something that can make you money. And a lot of y'all will go out there and go back and get you know graduate degrees, or you want, oh, I'm gonna go back to college. I want to be in business. You don't need to go to college to learn how to be a business, because ain't nobody, you professors are in business, okay? And so I would take that money and invest it with Alma to learn specific stuff. When you got done, you would have a 5-figure funnel, or like at least a checks with commas in them. Is that a good a good statement?
My goal is to help you create a 6-figure funnel.
6-figure funnel.
Minimum. Of course, we want to get it to 7 figures, but let's start off small, get you to your first 100K.
Yes. Yeah, I got a couple people I need to introduce you to directly. Correct me if I'm wrong. People say, well, just follow your passion, do what you love, and the money will follow. And I actually don't agree with that. The market wants what it wants, right? And they don't care about your passion. You need to solve a problem. So you want to do this thing that you love, but you can't generate any money at it. That's the market telling you that you need to either adjust your audience or you got to adjust your offer. It might be good, but you're not talking to people that are interested, where that's a burning problem for them to solve. It's interesting, but they ain't ready to write a check for it, right? And so a lot of times you've got a what do they call it? A market to message match. And so you kind of got to get out your way and let the data tell you what you should be doing. What are some maybe tactical things that people, when they leave out of here, like they should hear, you should do this, and then I want you to begin to tell them where they can, you gave them almabradford.com/free, any tools you like or any stuff that you want to direct them towards. I want them to get some help.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is like, let's I also want to like kind of go into that whole idea of you need to have a profitable idea because you can have a passion and people don't want to buy, whatever you're teaching.
Yeah.
So there's a formula I use, which is figure out what are people already spending money on? What are they already buying? What type of courses are they buying? What type of memberships are they joining? What type of digital products are they buying? The next step is make a list of like 5 to 10 things that you like to do, that you're good at, that you're passionate about, that you enjoy, and then merge the two together. Okay. So if you have 10 different things and only 2 or 3 of them fit the first requirement of being something that people are already buying.
Right.
You want to do it, just narrow it down now. When you have those two things, you have a profitable digital product idea, whether it's a membership site course. The second part about this is you have to focus. I see a lot of people on social media and they're trying to grow their brand, but they're just doing all the things. They have a food truck, then they have a podcast about relationships, then they talk about, I also do freelance websites. Okay, these three things, they have nothing to do with each other, really.
Right.
Okay. So I see this a lot. And what you have to do is you need to take one business and grow that to multiple six figures before you start the next one.
Yes.
Because you need to focus. Focus is what's going to help you make money faster.
Yeah.
And then once you focus and you grow one business to multiple six figures, you can outsource it, you can automate it, and then you can move on to your next idea. Or if you grow that to seven figures, whatever it is that you want to hit. But you at least a minimum of 250K, a 250K business, you can hire people, you can do ads for that. You can really just make that hands off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is something that I feel like a lot of people, they're just in different directions. They're talking about things that have nothing to do with each other. They're just doing all the things. And that's why they're not moving the needle. That's why they don't have consistency. So you really just have to focus. And if you focus, you will outdo your competition.
Mm-hmm.
So while the other person's like, maybe you're a business coach or whatever, you're a marketing coach. No, let's say you're a coach that teaches people how to start a, and you're teaching that, but then someone else has the same thing, but they're also teaching how to, build an Etsy shop and then how to do Bitcoin. But you only talk about this one thing. If you are consistent and you're always talking about that over and over and over again, you are going to outdo your competition.
Mm-hmm.
Because you become known, you focus on all your energy on that one message, that one audience, that one offer. You make that offer really good. You get your students excellent results. You just focus on just creating a really good product and creating great testimonials. You will outdo your competition because your competition is all over the place. It's just this, that, they're not going to last. So this is why focus is so important. Not only will it help you make more money, it will also allow you to outdo your competition.
Mm-hmm.
You become a category of one.
That's it. And so you want to become the best in class in your category, and which is focus and working at that, and always trying to get better. Every quarter, my operating system is there's this book called The 12-Week Year, but every year I set goals to get better at some aspect of my business. I played basketball in college. So I'll always call it, you have to work on your game, right? I'm going to go left. I'm going to be able to pull up from the top of the key, that kind of stuff. And you have to work on your game. And I think you have to really break your business down and look at it the same way of how can I grow this? And I think if you've got a overall goal of freedom, that's the key. But the focus thing, because I love the steps. So I want you to hear the steps. Figure out what people are already spending money on, okay, and then make a list of 5 things that you know how to do, that you like to do, right? And then out of that, you'll find an idea for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yes, I know you want to open a homeless shelter for battered women. Okay. Let's make some money first. Then you can go save the world. Okay. Or is that just me? I don't mean to put words in your mouth. No, but
I feel the same way. I actually feel the same way because a lot of people they want to start a nonprofit, but then they're not making money for themselves. So they don't have the energy and emotional capacity to really go in all in and really impact the lives of others because they don't have their own ducks in a row. So think about your business is really something that you can use to create a greater impact in the world. And once you get this, you build your wealth and you have this system set up, now you have more free time and you have money to really help people and build a homeless shelter for people or women suffering from abuse and neglect. And you can really give change and you can really volunteer and help your community because you have this, you took care of yourself. And actually people that are going through hardship actually need you. They need your skill set. They need your, money, donate to people.
Yeah.
You can donate, you can give back, but you really have to take care of yourself first. So that I totally agree with that. I totally
Yeah,
agree.
I mean, you can't be afraid to make money or of, dare I say, capitalism, which is just an ever expanding system of cooperation amongst strangers. See, Alma makes money because she creates value in the marketplace. So I don't even think you need to be a nonprofit because there's nothing wrong with profits because profits means that you're serving people at a high level. What didn't I ask you? This is my catch-all to make sure I didn't forget anything. That I should have asked you that you want to share.
Honestly, I feel like the last part was everything I was going to share.
Yeah. I think that was
Um,
major, the lack of focus. So how can they get in touch with you if they want to hear more? How can they follow you and be involved with you if they want to, follow out more of what you're doing?
yeah, definitely. So go to my website, almabradford.com.
Mm-hmm.
And on my website, I have a bunch of free resources. In fact, if you go to almabradford.com/free,
Mm-hmm.
there are some resources to help you do exactly what I just talked about today,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
pretty much. So yeah, just definitely go to my website, and then we have a page for free resources to help you. So yeah.
All right. So go there. Make sure you get in that world. If you're on Clubhouse, follow her club. I'll throw that out there too, right? That's how we met. And but you got to make stuff happen. Like it's act. You don't get passive income without it being active first. All right. And so you heard it through her story. So I want you to go out there. The reason I wanted to share because I want you to be encouraged that there's people that look like you that are winning. Okay. And so if you watch the news, it's like, oh, woe is me and this is that. And you can't do such and such because you're black and blah, blah, blah. You're a victim. No, you're not. Okay. And so, the main message of the Practical Wealth Show is stop looking for other people to solve your problems. You need to take care of your damn self, right? And get out there and make some stuff happen. Winners win. And so I just introduced you to a winner. You can find out, you want to get mentorship, you want to get help, you got to learn how to do it. But if one can do it, another can do it. And $100,000 is not a lot of money. All right. So that's a good start. Okay. But that's a good start. But don't think you're somewhere you're not. Okay. And so, Alma, thank you so much for being a guest on the Practical Wealth Show.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Guys, go out there, make it a prosperous day, and we will see you next time. Make sure if you like the show, listen, follow her stuff. We're going to put all her stuff in the show notes. Share us. Share us with friends. Leave us a review. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Practical Wealth. To access the show notes and resources, go to practicalwealthshow.com. To get your questions on the show, go to practicalwealthshow.com. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Before you make any investment decisions, consult a professional. This show is copyrighted by Practical Wealth. Written permission